We appreciate it. All right, to get the program started tonight, I would like to invite to the stage Stockton Chamber President Scott Graffius. Come on up, Scott.
Thank you very much. As you can see, Tim and I shop at the same store, so we're going to get this thing going. As president of the Greater Stockton Chamber of Commerce, I'd like to thank you for joining us this evening. We're very proud to honor the outstanding individuals who have contributed so much to the agricultural community. I'd like to thank the 38th Annual Ag Hall of Fame Selection Committee. We have Leslie Avancino, Daniel Bennett, William Mick Canavari, Judy Rodriguez, Paul Sanguinetti, Ron Scatina, and Michelle J. Sherman, and Katie Withley for their dedication to selecting our most worthy honorees. I've been on that committee before, and I think we have six names that we're going to call out tonight in honor, but there's like 15 or 20 that you have to choose from, and everybody and all the stories are worthy of this, and so it's very difficult to make and pare it down. So there's a lot of decision making, a lot of heartfelt decisions that go into this. We have so many worthwhile, worthy agriculturists in our area, and we are truly blessed. We truly are blessed with agriculture in San Joaquin County. It was a very hard decision to choose this year's honorees. Before we get to the inductions, though, I have to thank and recognize some people, and let me start with our sponsors. Without them, this great event would not be happening. So, in our generous Ag Hall of Fame sponsors, we have a community of champions. So we have King's Cards Club. Don't know if we have somebody from them. We also have the Port of Stockton, Taking Care of Business Partner. We have the City of Stockton. Platinum, we have A.L. Gilbert Company, Bank of Stockton, Cordo Olive, LP, Cordoposse Family Foundation, Holt Ag Solutions, Couts Ironstone Vineyards, which is on some tables, and Lodi Farming Incorporated, Mid-Valley it's a long list, I apologize, but we do need to do this, so bear with me. Mid-Valley Agricultural Services, Pacific Southwest Irrigation, San Joaquin Farm Bureau Federation, San Tomo Incorporated, Wells Fargo, and Zuckerman Family Farms. Met them earlier with those two cute boys over there. We have San Joaquin County Office of Education, Stockton East Water District, turn the page. Calamco, Captivating Photos, Ligorio Family of Companies, More Fry Ranches, great grapes, Vino Farms LLC, Croce Sanguinetti Vanderveen CPAs, Hagen Museum, Pacific Southwest Irrigation, San Joaquin Delta College, Zuckerman Family Farms, our wine is donated by Couts Ironstone Vineyards. If you haven't been there, it's a beautiful place, great wines. They always pour their wines at Pixie Woods Wine Tasting, just a little plug. More Fry Ranches and Oak Farm Vineyards, another fantastic winery. Special thanks to Stagg High School FFA. So there's a centerpiece on your table, and I think there's an envelope there or some information about it. So I think the minimum bid on that is $25. So there's students in the FFA program put these together. It's a great program, and we'd love if everybody, if they would all leave with a donation, obviously. And Papa Pablo's Bistro and Bar for the wonderful food that we just had. Thank you very much. Induction of dignitaries. So I'm going to go through the folks that are here. So we have, for representing Congressman Josh Harder's office, Melissa Santos is here. Representing San Joaquin County Board of Supervisor, Robert Rickman is here. City of Stockton Mayor Kevin Lincoln is here. City of Stockton Council Member Susan Lenz is here. For Assembly Member Carlos Villapudua, we have Gurney Boparai here. Council Member Ramon Yepes, City of Lodi. San Joaquin County District Attorney Ron Freitas is here. San Joaquin. Oh. And Council Member from Lodi, Cameron Bregman, is here. There's some scribbles on here, I apologize. San Joaquin Delta College Board of Trustees, President Janet Rivera is here. Yay. And President Richard Atkins, Vice President Thomas McGurk, Board Member Alvin Cortopassi, Board Member Paul Sanguinetti, Board Member Andrew Watkins, General Manager Justin Hopkins, and these are all of the Stockton East Water District. San Joaquin County Ag Commissioner Kamal Bagri. Now I'd like to welcome back to the stage Greater Stockton Chamber of Commerce's CEO Tim Quinn to induct the 2023 San Joaquin County Agricultural Hall of Fame honorees.
Thank you, Scott. I think I interrupted Scott too. I don't know. Did he say Ron Freitas, Good County District Attorney? Yeah, Ron right here.
Ron!
I distracted him. All right. Now we get to the fun part. So this evening we gather to honor those who have contributed so much to a great part of our heritage. Our Agricultural Hall of Fame marks the efforts in history of those who have gone before, those who have graced our homes and enriched our hearts, and those who in days past laid the foundation which we build for today and tomorrow. The agricultural community is a wonderful example of people working together and continuing a tradition that's been handed down throughout the years from people who had to sacrifice a great deal, both personally and physically, to nurture our land and our community. It is a privilege, truly is a privilege for me, on behalf of the citizens of San Joaquin County, to thank those outstanding recipients who are responsible for tonight's celebration. Before I get to that though, I would like all of the past San Joaquin County Ag Hall of Fame inductees that are here tonight, we have quite a few, to stand up to be recognized. Please stand to be recognized. Thank you all so much for your continued hard work and dedication. I know a lot of you were inducted a long time ago, but you haven't stopped. You've still gone, and you still work making San Joaquin County, the agriculture community, such a better place. So thank you for your continued dedication. And a little birdie told me that one of our past honorees, inductees, Gail Counts, it's Gail's birthday. Let's wish Gail Counts a happy birthday. Happy Gail. Happy birthday. All right, now it is my honor to proudly present our 2023 Agricultural Hall of Fame honorees who will join that illustrious group that just stood up. I will read a short bio, ask the inductees to come to the stage and receive their plaque, take a quick photo, and then turn it over to them for a few words. There are longer bios in your program and on some frame picture frames over there as well. And then they'll eventually be at the new San Joaquin County Ag Hall of Fame display at the San Joaquin County Historical Society. We used to have the little kiosks, little computer kiosks that had all the Ag Hall of Fame in them. Unfortunately, those stopped updating code technology. So as the San Joaquin County Historical Society, they are working on their renovation out there. They're going to install a permanent San Joaquin County Agricultural Hall of Fame display. So hopefully that is completed in the near future. Along with the plaques, tonight the honorees will receive certificates from Congressman Josh Harder's office, Senator Susan Talamantes Eggman's office, Assemblymember Carlos Villapudwa's office, Assemblymember Heath Flora, the San Joaquin County Board of Supervisors, City of Stockton Council and Mayor, and the Lodi Mayor and City Council as well. All right, so now let's get to the fun part. Wrong button. Right button. First up tonight, we have one of our posthumous honorees, Marc Marchini.
Hey, Marc.
December 15, 1941 in San Francisco and passed away on August 7, 2018. Marc had a lasting impact on his brother, daughter, grandchildren, countless students, and the community. Throughout high school, Marc was involved with FFA and later attended Modesto Junior College. After some time at Fresno State, Marc returned to Union Island to work in the family farming operation headed by his father and uncle. In 1983, Marc, his brother Paul, and his father Angelo formed A. Marchini & Sons, which later became A&M Farms, where they predominantly grew asparagus and wine grapes. Throughout his career, he participated in numerous research initiatives with the University of California Cooperative Extension, helping to improve asparagus cultivation practices, varietal development, pest and disease eradication, and mechanization. Marc was a recognized leader in the Delta as well as the state and national level. Locally, he was active in the San Joaquin Farm Bureau Federation and the Robert Union Farm Center. He also found time to be a trustee on the school boards of the Delta Island and Tracy Unified School District. He even played an instrumental part in planning and building Merrill F. West High School in Tracy. Marc sat on the board of the Stockton Asparagus Festival, where he took pride in the festival's famous Asparagus Alley. On the state level, he was involved in the California Asparagus Growers Association and creation of the California Asparagus Commission, where he served as chairman. Nationally, he represented the California asparagus industry by serving as a member of the National Asparagus Council. Agriculture was more than just a vocation for Marc. It was an avocation. The impact he has made not only on his family, but the community will live on. Accepting on behalf of Marc tonight is his cousin, Nanette Marden. Come on up, Nanette.
Good evening. My name is Nanette Marden, and Marc Marchini was my first cousin. The family would like to thank the Greater Stockton Chamber of Commerce and the San Joaquin Ag Hall of Fame Committee for this honor. Additionally, we would like to congratulate the other honorees that are being celebrated tonight. Marc was born on December 15th, 1941, 1 week after Pearl Harbor, to Angelo and Clara Marchini. Marc attended Tracy schools and graduated from Tracy High in 1960. While in high school, Marc was very active in FFA, and at Fresno State he majored in crop science. Marc was a third-generation farmer who followed the footsteps of his grandfather Marco and father Angelo, and in partnership with his brother Paul, established one of the area's solid farming operations, while at the same time being a major force in furthering ag education in the Tracy area. After college, Marc returned to Union Island to work in the family farming operation, headed by his father Angelo and Uncle Bruno, which was known as Marchini Brothers. It was a time of major changes in the way tomatoes were grown and harvested, and the Marchini operation was at the forefront of the move toward mechanized harvesting. Asparagus was a major part of the farm for years, as well as other row crops, including sugar beets and alfalfa, farmed on Union Island and Fabian Tract north of Tracy. In 1985, Marc, his brother Paul, and father Angelo formed AM Farms, which predominantly grew asparagus and wine grapes, Chardonnay and Pinot Grigio, alfalfa, corn, wheat, and safflower. They were one of the first in the area to plant a vineyard. After ending tomato production, they continued to develop their asparagus operation by expanding and upgrading their packing shed. Marc was a leader in the Asparagus Commission and was willing to try new growing, distribution, and marketing techniques. During his years in farming, he was a member of the San Joaquin Farm Bureau, Robert Union Farm Center, chairman of the California Asparagus Commission, and on the board of directors of the Stockton Asparagus Festival. In 2003, Marc was named Tracy Agriculturist of the Year. While farming, Marc found time to serve the community of Tracy for 27 years as a trustee on the school boards of Delta Island, Tracy High, and finally the Tracy Unified School District. As a school board member in 1985, he served as president of the San Joaquin County School Board Association. As a Tracy High trustee, Marc was instrumental in the planning, financing, and building of Merrill F. West High School. He also supported the International Baccalaureate program at Tracy High, retiring from the board in 2000. Marc not only gave his time through his work and the school board, but was a generous supporter of local education-based charities. For more than a decade, Marc and his brother Paul donated and prepared the asparagus for the Tracy High Alumni Club's annual Tri-Tip and Asparagus Dinner. In 1966, Marc married Barbara Giannini, and they had a beautiful daughter, Marnie. Sadly, Barbara passed away in 2001. A few years later, a dear friend introduced Marc to Linda Burns. In 2003, Marc and Linda married. The family was very happy that he found someone to share his life. Marc, Marnie, her husband Darren, and their sons Dominic and Braden welcomed Linda and her children, Heather, Anna, Michael, into the family. Family meant everything to him. Marc was passionate about the land. His love of agriculture and education was what drove him. He so tried to educate people about the importance of farming, especially asparagus, and was a big supporter of local 4-H and FFA programs. One thing he did was to bring farming into the classroom with tomato demonstrations to the kids in Linda's first grade classes at Hirsch Elementary School. Marc was thrilled when his daughter Marnie joined the family business, making her the 4th generation. In 2018, Marc passed away. His death left a tremendous void. However, his brother Paul, and daughter Marnie have carried on his farming legacy. I will continue to talk to him in heaven about life, family, and farming. We loved him and miss him terribly. Thank you for this honor of introducing you to my cousin Marc and allowing me to share his life story of love, family, farming, and education. And at this time, I'd like to introduce Marc's family. His daughter Marnie, her husband Darren, their son Dominic, his wife Linda, and his brother Paul and his wife Angie. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nanette. Okay. Up next, we have our other posthumous honoree. It's going the wrong way. There we go. Chester Bud Rolland Murphy. He was known as Bud by everyone and grew up in Telegraph City on the cattle ranch in Calaveras County. Soon after graduating from Bret Harte High School at Angels Camp and while working on the family cow-calf operation, Bud attended Stockton College, which was eventually to be known as University of the Pacific, where he studied math and engineering. After college and being drafted in the U.S. Army, Bud came back to operate the family beef cattle ranches. Bud enjoyed working the cattle as they grazed on the lush Calaveras grasslands during the winter, then moved to the mountain ranges of the wheat meadows into Wallom County during the summers. In the early 1940s, the family expanded their cattle business into San Joaquin County. This move gave Bud the opportunity to use his education in engineering to develop the grasslands around Farmington into irrigated farmland that is still used by his family today. This 1,800 acres of farmland complemented the cattle business by creating opportunities with tenant farmer partners who produced a rotation of tomatoes, sugar beets, and beans among other crops. In the cattle business, Bud used his engineering education to build over a dozen reservoirs and stock ponds with the cooperation of the California Department of Water Resources. He even built a reservoir to reclaim tailwater to increase irrigation efficiency. Bud was always a cattle rancher, and in the 1970s and 80s, he developed a purebred polled Hereford herd. He was one of the first breeders to improve his herd using embryo transplants, which won him many champions throughout the U.S. With his wife Irma and their 4 children, Chester, William, Thomas, and Esther, he was always a supporter of the Farmington 4-H and Escalon FFA. Being in the spirit of the community of Farmington, Bud was a volunteer fireman on the Farmington Fire Department. A member of the Farmington Oddfellows Hall, member of the Polled Hereford Association, and a board member on the Central San Joaquin Water Conservation District. Agriculture was not just a career, but a life for Bud, a passion that he passed on to his family with a legacy of service and desire to leave the industry better with his efforts for a brighter future for all. Joining us tonight, we have his son Chester and a lot of the Murphy family here. Come on up, Chester.
Hello, I'm Chester Murphy, and I'm here with my brother Bill, my sister Esther, and my brother Tom. I know a lot of you knew my dad. He's been gone for a long time, but we've missed him a long time, and we really appreciate this community and what this community's done for our family. And we wanted to thank the Chamber, the Farm Bureau, and all of you here tonight. Thank you very much.
All right, we'll get there. Up next, we have Marden Wilbur. Marden Wilbur, a graduate of University of California, Davis, has found success by embracing new ideas, working with others, and giving back to his community. In the 1960s and 70s, Marden owned and operated the Elmar Angus herd of purebred Angus cattle. In 1969, he was awarded the American Angus Association's Picture Bowl of Breed and was named California's Outstanding Young Farmer. In 1978, he established a partnership with his father-in-law, Kenneth Lane, and they started Lane Ranches, a successful cow-calf and stocker operation. In 2003, Marden was honored as the California Livestock Man of the Year at the 59th Grand National Rodeo Horse and Stock Show. Marden is a leader in environmental stewardship. He originated and directed flood control projects and implemented an agricultural water conservation program. In 1999, he established the Fitzgerald Ranch Conservation Bank to protect and help vulnerable animal species in the area. Throughout his lifetime, Marden served as a leader in the cattle and agricultural industry, serving multiple committees such as the Cal Expo Blue Ribbon Advisory Committee, California Cattlemen's Association, San Joaquin County Valley Hay Growers Association, and many others. He was an original founding member of the California Beef Cattle Improvement Association and the Northern California Angus Association. Marden was involved with the San Joaquin County Multi-Species Habitat Conservation and Open Space Plan, the San Joaquin County Board of Supervisors, the State Department of Fish and Game, and the Army Corps of Engineers on various projects to maintain a rural environment in the Clements area. Marden has volunteered and worked tirelessly, lobbying in Washington, D.C., locally or at the state level, on issues that he feels are critical to the agricultural industry. Marden was a Rotary member for 25 years and served as a president. He has served on countless committees involving the Clemens community and is a University of California Davis Alumni Association member. Today, at the age of 87, Marden is still serving his community for the betterment of agricultural and environment. Let's give it up for Marden. Unfortunately, Marden couldn't be here today. He's having some health issues, so please keep him in your thoughts and prayers. He's going in for a procedure tomorrow, so you can use all the help you can get. Keep him in your thoughts and prayers, and hopefully he'll recover soon. So wish him a speedy recovery. Keep him in your thoughts. Up next, we have Dr. Marit Arana. Marit's journey into agriculture exemplifies dedication and passion. Despite a non-agricultural background, her love for horses ignited at an early age. Determined to own a horse, she saved $200 by the age of 8, a promise her parents honored, marking the beginning of her lifelong agricultural involvement. Her academic path led her to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, where she ultimately earned a Bachelor's of Science in Animal Sciences. She had a short detour while at Cal Poly and earned an AA degree in Animal Health Technology from Hartnell College in Salinas. Her educational journey continued at California State University of Fresno, where she achieved a Master's of Science in Animal Sciences, specializing in equine nutrition and exercise physiology. Marit's educational pursuit culminated in a PhD in animal nutrition from the University of Arizona. Post-graduation, she returned to California, working for the University of California Cooperative Extension as a dairy farm advisor for San Joaquin, Sacramento, Yolo, Solano, and Contra Costa counties. Marit joined the A.L. Gilbert Company as a nutritionalist and swiftly rose to the head of the nutrition department. Her expertise in animal nutrition extended to serving as the national president for the American Registry of Professional Animal Scientists in 2008 to 2009. She also has played a pivotal role as chairman of the California Department of Food and Agriculture's Feed Inspection Advisory Board since September of 2013. Marit's contributions aren't limited to agriculture. She's been an active member of the Agricultural Awareness and Literacy Foundation, supporting consumer education through initiatives like Farmology, which educates children about the origins of their food, particularly those with little agricultural knowledge. Her involvement in activities such as the San Joaquin chapter of California Women for Agriculture, participation in scholarship committees, mentoring students, and engagement with legislators showcases her extensive impact on agriculture and non-agricultural communities. Her leadership and commitment to mentoring have inspired countless individuals, encouraging the next generation. With that, let me welcome Dr. Marit.
Non-glare. I would like to basically thank the California Women for Ag group that decided that I was deserving of this honor. And apparently it was quite a bit of subterfuge. They mined a whole group of people that I know in various parts of my life. And so they put together, Terry led the charge, Terry Paletti and Adele made a phenomenal admission or a nomination packet, I guess is what it was that they put together. They were able to find students that I hadn't seen in a long time. I got one of them to write an article or write a letter, a recommendation. They talked to people at the state fair that I didn't know were really even aware of some of the stuff that I did up there. So, there's things like that that made it part of it. My colleagues at work also put together a lovely, glowing letter and convinced one of management to sign it. So it all turned out like it was supposed to. So I would just like to thank my colleagues at Gilbert Company, the California Women for Ag, San Joaquin Group, as well as our state president, who's from Lake County. She couldn't be here tonight. She's still harvesting walnuts, but she also wrote a very lovely letter. All the other folks, California Grain and Feed Association, I know I'm forgetting somebody, but whoever else it was that they managed to mine and get letters of recommendation out of. I appreciate it all. Thank you very much.
Right, up next we have Edward Alfred Zuckerman. The whole right side of the room. Also known as Eddie, he's a third-generation farmer from San Joaquin County, Delta. His journey into agriculture began after earning a bachelor's in business when he joined his father in cultivating potatoes on McDonald Island. In 1978, Eddie's vision for diversifying the family business as he introduced turfgrass, founding the Delta Bluegrass Company. Since then, Eddie's farming expertise has thrived, expanding to around 8,000 acres with diverse crops such as sod, potato, corn, rice, almonds, wine grapes, wheat, barley, alfalfa, and sunflowers. Zuckerman Farms is now one of California's largest potato growers and packers, serving locally, nationally, and international markets. Delta Bluegrass Company, which he nurtured, is the largest sod grower in Northern California, acclaimed for its premium products. Eddie employs nearly 700 people annually, primarily in San Joaquin County. Eddie's agricultural innovations shine with Delta Bluegrass Company, pioneering drought-tolerant croupier and introducing native, eco-friendly grasses. His embrace of technology is evident in modern farming practices utilizing advanced equipment, mobile app-driven irrigation, and robotics. Beyond farming, Eddie's leadership extends to the co-founding of Delta Growers and serving as president of Turf Producers International. Eddie has served on the board for the California Delta Water Agency for more than 20 years and is very much involved in the ag and urban water matters for San Joaquin and Delta in California. Throughout the years, Eddie has also served as a board member of various agricultural organizations, making a significant impact in the ag industry. In non-agricultural domains, Eddie's service is admirable. He's a national ski champion and a generous supporter of charitable organizations like St. Mary's Dining Hall, Stockton's Gospel Center Rescue Mission, Bread of Life, Red Rhino, and the Uplift All Foundation, just to name a few. Before we call Eddie up, though, I'd like to call his son Zach up. He wanted to say a couple words.
Thank you very much, Tim. Wow, what a great room and a great group of people. Looking around, I see a lot of familiar faces. I'm honored to be here. Great to be up here speaking on behalf of my father. And I wanted just to share a few things. You know, you pack a bunch of farmers and their loved ones, friends and family together in a room, and it's easy to see why America is the world's powerhouse when it comes to leadership. My father taught me that from a very, very young age. Dedication, strength, were all virtues that we needed to be if you're going to be successful in life. You know, very, very, very few people can think back 45 years or so ago, and even generations before that. The ranch was a very different place then, and probably a handful of people in this room remember what it looked like. Carrie, Roscoe, where's Trey? Trey, Belden. You know, before all the modernization of the island took place, we used to get across the Delta on a one-truck ferry. There was no bridge. There was no modernization of that waterway until several people in the family came along and took it upon themselves to make that a reality. Where an old, rusty, dilapidated tin packing shed once stood, now is a fully modernized packing and cold storage facility which streamlines processes and efficiency for the farm as a whole. The office went from a double-wide trailer sitting on the side of a levee to a fully staffed permanent building, which there's a lot of people responsible for here in this room here tonight. Although the landscape has changed, the strength and character of your leadership remains steady, opening the gate for successful new crop programs, increasing value in unprecedented ways. Doing all of this over the span of your everlasting career is amazing. What is equally impressive is your generosity and humility. Please give a farmer's welcome to my friend, mentor, and father, Mr. Ed Zuckerman.
How about Julia and Matthew?
Here we go.
Here we go.
Fifth generation. Well, that was a surprise. I had no idea that my son would get up and say those kind words. We've had our differences over the years. I love agriculture. I love being in this room and seeing so many familiar faces and good people. It warms my heart to be part of this tribe. It really does. Thank you for to the chamber and those of you who voted me in, and I'm really happy about that. I could talk all night, but it's getting towards bedtime, so I'll be fairly quick. But you know, there's a lot of generational businesses in this room. Farming is kind of that way in many ways. I come from a family where my grandfather and his two brothers started this deal as a couple of guys working for a produce company in Los Angeles. Came up to the Delta, started buying potatoes from George Shima and celery and from other people and whatnot. My grandfather Roscoe came up and said, I don't want to do this anymore, I want to farm. So they started, my cousin Edward Weil down in Los Angeles staked the three Zuckerman brothers, and off they went. And my dad is the youngest of Roscoe's children. We grew up in a family where, you know, a couple of brothers, a couple of sisters, but the biggest entity in the whole family was, quote unquote, the ranch. Some of you who've been in family businesses kind of know how it can kind of rise to a level that maybe a little more important than it should have been, but my dad was kind of a hard ass. He was a great guy, I loved him very much, but when I graduated from UOP, I wanted to come to work at the farm. My brother Roscoe was working out there, and my dad said, well, son, there's probably not room for another family in this business unless you really bring something to the table. So if you can bring a new business in, then you know we'll do it. So I started out doing that. I saw a billboard on right outside of Tracy, and it was for turf grass. And being a farmer on peat, I figured turf would be perfect for that type of soil. So I said, Dad, I'm going to try and grow some turf. So I started out with 10,000 square feet, mowed it by myself. Then I grew up to 2.5 acres. I called this guy on the billboard, a guy by the name of John Nunes in Patterson. We became great friends. He also built specialized equipment for turf, so I became a good customer of his, and I grew turf for him. A lot of the guys in the room, we are truly a third generation business and now a fourth. A lot of the guys in the room helped me get started. Some of them are still working here. In 1978, John Nunes came out to the ranch. We didn't have a contract or anything. We had a handshake deal, and I think he was going through a divorce. There was a slight economic downturn, and he said, "Eddie, I can't take your turf anymore." So we're standing on the levee looking over this 75 acres of beautiful turf. After I picked my stomach up out of my boots, I found myself at a California landscape contractors meeting that night, and lo and behold, since we've been selling turf to a lot of the landscape industry through Nunes, a lot of the guys had become familiar with the turf on the black dirt. So I had a ready-made deal, and customers started coming along, and we've taken off from there. It was a real racehorse. It was very, we had kind of meteoric growth. In 1991, or actually in the late 70s, I met another farmer or landowner on McDonald Island by the name of Dennis Gardemeyer. And he had retired from development and very successful. And he owned some land on McDonald, and he was on our board of directors. I was the president of the company by then. We had a board of directors. He was one of the outside members, and he really kind of helped me get started. Our two skill sets, I brought stuff to the table, Dennis brought stuff to the table, and together we put our careers together in farming and put a multiple on everything, and it's been a great ride. He couldn't be here tonight. He's at a family reunion in Alabama. But I just want to thank all of the people and all of the employees and friends that came here tonight. We are truly a generational business. My daughter Julia, my son Matthew, Dennis's son John, they're all, Matthew and Julia are fourth generation. Zach has worked at the company for in past years, but now he works in high tech. He makes too much money, I can't afford to pay him. But I've got a couple of little grandsons over there that are fifth generation, and I'm hoping that maybe they'll get interested in it. But looking out over my peeps over here, I see Karen there, and a lot of our new managers, Ben and Ken Joaquin, who's been an instrumental part of our potato success. In 1987, I met the woman of my dreams. We had 3 beautiful children and a great life together. We just got back from northern Spain and southern France riding bikes together. We had a great time. So, and I'd like to give a shout out to Marc Marchini. He was a good friend of mine. I served with him on the asparagus commission, and he was a class guy. So my hat's off to you guys. Thank you. Thank you so much for your honor. I'm very happy.
Way to go, Ed! You're right here, Dad. Right here, Dad. Right here, Dad.
All right. Last but certainly not least, we have Eugene Wallom. Eugene Wallom was born in 1936 in New Glarus, Wisconsin, where he grew up helping his father on his farms from a very young age. Through his hard work and dedication, Gene landed a job and formed a partnership with Dino Cortopazzi to form Donco Farm Equipment. This was the beginning of a 55-year partnership. In 1988, Gene and Cortopazzi founded Lodi Farming Inc., a vineyard and orchard operation. They made significant innovations in agriculture, such as double cropping of wheat and kidney beans, no-till farming practices, center pivots, and the invention of a tomato vine trainer. They also built over-the-row equipment for vineyards, allowing 2 rows to be sprayed, dusted, or trimmed with 1 pass. Gene was one of the first to plant apples in San Joaquin County, planting the first orchard of Fuji in 1987. Soon Lodi farming transformed into the largest apple grower in California. Gene was also one of the first to plant cover crops in orchards and vineyards, improving water penetration, soil tilth, and increasing organic matter in the soil. Gene has been a member of the San Joaquin Farm Bureau for over 60 years, serving as a volunteer project leader for the Alpine Victor 4-H Club. He has been a strong supporter of the San Joaquin County Junior Livestock Auction and has been a charter member of the Early Days Gas Engines and Tractors Association. Gene is also a member of the Mid-Valley Apple Association, the Lodi District Grape Growers Association, and the San Joaquin Valley Swiss Club. Gene served in the U.S. Army from 1956 to 1960 and volunteered as a lost wax jewelry making instructor. Gene and his late wife Karen enjoy traveling, especially on river cruises, and he enjoys spending time with his family and friends. His innovation, perseverance, and devotion to his work has made him an important part of the San Joaquin County community. It is my pleasure to welcome to the stage, Gene Wallom.
Congratulations. Can't believe we did all that? Yeah. we only had to make some.
Ching!
There you go. This way. Let's go, Gene!
Good evening, everyone. First, right off the bat, I want to thank the Chamber and all the great work you guys do for the community and just generally on top of it all the time. Thank you very much. I want to thank all my friends, partners that have made my life the way it has been. Busy, busy, and busier. With all the groups from San Tomo, Corte Plastic family, from the Corte Olive, all the family groups, would you stand up so they can really see what a guy needs to get support?
There you go.
They probably got off their fanny because they've been sitting here for a while. So 2 things were resolved from that. I have been associated with the family of Corte Plastic Farms, Corte Plastic Dino and his family, for all these years of 55 plus years. We've did a lot of things. We've started with tomatoes that were bare roots, tomatoes now that are plug planted, and we started when we used to run the water with a siphon pipe, and now they put it through a little plastic hose. All of us have done it that have in the farming business. It's been a great run, and there's more to come. I can see lots of new things out in the future, and there's lots of things that we're going to be able to need to get into. And I want to thank everybody for their inputs on some of the stuff that we've done. Myself, I think I've been exonerated many times by my partner because he's always made things happen that probably would have not happened. He was very strong, and he made me strong enough to be able to stand up to all the tough things that are required to be a farmer. I want to thank everybody this evening for coming. I'm not going to get here and take your time, and it's time to go home. It's time 9 o'clock. I want to thank everybody.
truly blessed with so many wonderful agriculturalists in our community. It's amazing every year we get to do this, and we have 5 to 6 more to induct. So if you look in your programs, there's a list of all the past honorees in there. If you see somebody that you think should be in the Ag Hall of Fame that's not on that list, nominate them next year. We get it every year. We're like, why isn't this person in the Ag Hall of Fame? Because nobody's nominated them. You got to be nominated to get in. We can't just pick and choose. There's a process. We can't play favorites. So you have to nominate them. So if you know of anybody, give me your card, let me know, and I'll let you know when nominations are available next year. I want to give a big thank you to Bill and Bridget Cloud, Captivating Photos, for taking photos today. They do amazing work, and I'm sure they've taken photos of some of your properties. All the pictures in the hallway and the lobby, those are mostly their photos. All this fantastic, beautiful agricultural land in San Joaquin County. So great job. Thank you guys.
Good job.
And yes, it is Bill's birthday. Happy belated birthday, Bill.
Thank you. Julia.
I want to give a big thank you to the chamber staff for helping put all this together. Carlos, Michelle, and all the staff back in the office. Really appreciate you guys. And a huge thank you to Stag FFA. They did the centerpieces. They put together these beautiful centerpieces for us. They're getting a barn at Stag. I was at the groundbreaking last month. It's an amazing program. They're starting to build their ag program there at Stag, so we're really excited. You can take that centerpiece. There's a form on the table. For a minimum $25 donation, you can take that home with you. You can pay by cash, check, payable to the Stockton Chamber of Commerce, or if you have a credit card, Carlos and Michelle will be standing towards the back of the room. They've got a little tab or swipe that they can take your money via credit card as well. If you have the envelopes, you can bring them up here or give them to Carlos and Michelle on the way out. I want to thank you all again for coming tonight to celebrate these most deserving honorees. And if I could have all of tonight's honorees, please come up front with your plaques, all the posthumous and the living. Bring your plaques up here. We'll take a big group photo for that. So thank you all again for coming tonight. I really appreciate you. Thank you for all you do in the community. Drive home safely, and we'll see you next time. Thank you guys. All the honorees coming up. Don't leave. Come up with your plaques. All the honorees, come on up.